what sort of detective am I if I don't have magnifying glass? Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of another reading vlog, but this time it is a murder mystery themed reading vlog. I'm so excited to do this video. I've been anticipating doing this video. I'm really excited, and this week I would really like to focus on some Agatha Christie books. I really want to continue on with the series. I don't know how many I'm going to get read in this video because, well, I have a lot going on. If you've been watching the other videos, I am currently moving into my own flat, and the big move for all of my big items is actually happening at the end of this week. So we're going to see how much reading I get done. However, actually, you know what, we'll get into that in a minute because I should probably tell you about the book that I'm holding up. So I am reading Miss Marple books first out of Agatha Christie's book. I'm really enjoying them. They're so cozy. They are so much fun. And this one is A Murder is Announced. I'm actually going to be buddy reading this one with Kat over at a fairy library, and I will have her channel linked below. I'm really excited. I think it'd be really fun to buddy read this together. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. This one, I don't like knowing too much what murder mysteries are about, but I do believe this one, the villagers of Chipping Cleghorn find a strange notice that's telling them a murder is going to take place at this specific date and time, and they kind of laugh it off as a bit of a joke until it actually happens, and then Miss Marple is called in to try and solve it all. Really looking forward to reading this one. I've been told quite a lot of people do like this one. I think I'm going to be starting it tomorrow evening. I need to check if that's okay with Kat. But as I was saying, why I think I might get more than one Agatha Christie book read this week is because on Tuesday I have got a long train journey. I'm going to Ashford, and that train journey is over an hour, so I feel like I'm definitely going to get some reading in on Tuesday at the very least for the travel there and the travel back. I can imagine myself getting through a good chunk of this book on Tuesday. That is the hope. We will of course be attempting to solve this. I will have my notebook and pens at the ready. I would hold up my magnifying glass at this point, but that's packed away. I believe that's actually at the flat. So that was an oversight on my part because, you know, what sort of detective am I if I don't have a magnifying glass? I honestly don't know what to tell you, but it is packed away somewhere, or it's already at the flat, and I'm not sure which. I am going to the flat tomorrow after work to drop off some books. I will have a look there, and if my magnifying glass is there, perfect, then we are fully equipped with notebook, pen and magnifying glass to deduce what is going on in this book and see whether we can solve it, because I have not solved a single Agatha Christie book yet. But you know what, that could change. So yeah, I'm really excited. I really want to read this one. If I manage to get it finished and I have enough time, I will be starting the very next one, which, you know what, let me grab it. They do it with mirrors, and this one is a gift from Suzanne. So thank you so much. And yeah, this is the plans for this week. We want an Agatha Christie filled reading week. I'm really excited for this. Hopefully you enjoy, but yeah, I really cannot wait to read these. I think they're going to be so good, and hopefully, because they are shorter books, I will get both of them read this week. Last week was a really good reading week, which I didn't expect, but we'll see. I'm really not imagining to read much over the weekend, so I'm thinking it's only really Monday to Thursday that I'll be busy reading more, just because across the weekend from Friday and that's when I'm doing all the big moves. So we'll see. I hope you enjoy. Join me along, see whether you've actually read them, whether you've guessed this before, and I guess we're going to find out whether I can redeem myself or if I'm just not very good at solving things. You know what, in other murder mystery books I can do it. Agatha Christie, not a single time. Maybe we'll be able to do it with one of these. I guess you're going to come with me to find out, but for now I have got quite a bit I need to get on with, so I'm going to continue the rest of my afternoon, and I will catch up with you when I have started A Murder is Announced. afternoon. I'm looking scraggly, but I've just finished a 9-hour shift. And yes, I could have set up the tripod so we had a much better background for you, but can I be bothered to do that? No. Is this curtain irritating me? And I'm trying to use my massive Hello Kitty thing to hold it in place? Yes, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. We also can't film in a lot of places in my room now because it's just a mess. Do you want to see the mess? I'll show you the mess. Why not? Like, look at it. It is atrocious. I'm not gonna lie, normally I am a very tidy person, so that is driving me insane, but I move in 2 days, so it's only lasted me 2 more days, and I'm so excited. But yesterday I had a really good day. I read such a good chunk of A Murder is Announced. I'm having so much fun with it. So I'm now up to chapter 12, page 143. We're pretty much halfway. And I was going to read even more because, as I said, I had to go all the way down to Ashford. So I had a lot of time on the train to read. But then I thought, no, I should probably update you because this is a good point where I'm up to. It's just, I'm really enjoying it. So we have my notes, and you saw we did get the magnifying glass because, you know, how else am I meant to solve this? So the notes, we have the list of everyone that is involved. So what happens is, in the morning, we have the newspaper round and all the residents are getting delivered their usual gazette, their local paper. And in the local paper, there is an advert that says, hey, a murder is going to happen at 6:30 p.m. at this address. Come along. And so you're seeing the reactions to that news from the different residents, and a lot of them think, oh, this is a really good game, it sounds really fun, except the residents where it's taken place. They're like, excuse me, what now? What's happening now? Why is this happening? Yeah, they've got no idea. But you know, that evening people come over, they're all coming up and they're like, oh, making up excuses to be there, and then 6:30 on the dot, the lights go off and gunshots are heard, and it's so good. So yeah, so I had to make a list of everyone that was in that room because of course we have to do that. And then I started making a list of suspects of what I think is going on, and I think there is a red herring. Now, my problem with my idea of it being a red herring, which I'm not going to go into spoilers for you, but the red herring, the reason why I think it's a red herring is because it seems really obvious. It's kind of really pointed out like, maybe we should be considering this person. And it seems very obvious. However, there has just been a turn of event where we realise what's happened, realise why the murder took place, or like a possible reason why the murder took place. And that is then more interesting because it then points towards maybe some different suspects, and you're just like, but I have been fooled by things like that from Agatha Christie so many times where I'm like, well, this person's way too obvious, it must be a red herring, to then have something else come up and I'm like, oh yeah, so it must be that person instead, to then be actually it was the red herring and who I disregarded because I thought it was too obvious at the start. So I'm not keeping them fully as a red herring. I think they could be a potential. However, there is another suspect. Honestly, nothing is pointing to them as a suspect, but at the same time I'm a little bit like, but you're a little bit sus. And I can't tell you why, but I'm intrigued, you know? So we have 2 different tabs going on. I did put out 3 tabs just in case, but we have this light one, which I have done for facts of the case, because I thought, you know what, this colour scheme matches the book really well. So facts of the case is in the light colour, and then we've got this pink, which is for my suspicions. And then I did put in a purple for any particular quotes that I really loved. A couple of times Agatha Christie has written a sentence where I'm like, that is just a stunning sentence, and I really like it. Generally, I find with Agatha Christie books, that it's not so much the sentences or like particular quotes that I adore, it's just the overall cozy vibe of this book, which it's definitely given me. Yes, it's repetitive in nature, so me and Kat spoke about it and she mentioned how the first chapter is really, really repetitive, and yes it is, but I also don't mind it because you're getting a feel for the other characters and you're getting to see their insight and their reaction to the advertisement in here. And obviously you're going to have repetition when they're interviewing people and stuff, so I don't mind it. It is there, it is repetitive, but it also just feels kind of cozy and it's kind of true to how countryside life is. Miss Marple's actually playing a much bigger part in this book than some of the other ones, which I'm really liking. So Miss Marple actually gets called in really, really early to this case and she's already making observations, which is really surprising because the last one I read, no, the one I potentially, hang on a minute, let me have a look, because I reread one. I think it was The Body in the Library. Yeah, I reread The Body in the Library, and that one was It was really good. Miss Marple was not as big of a character, like she was mainly at the end, and I think the same with the moving finger as well, actually. The moving finger, again, I like, but she was only present right at the very end, whereas in this one she's got a lot more of a presence, which I'm really enjoying because I enjoy Miss Marple as a character anyway. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. I'm having so much fun with it, so I definitely plan to read more of this evening. This evening I want to edit a book haul video. I just need to finish editing a tiny bit of that, get that uploaded. I want to shower, do some cooking, and then get back to reading this. And it's so easy to read, like it's so quick to read that I'm just really enjoying it. So yeah, I would like to get another good chunk of this done, and then I'll probably update you before I finish it to be like, okay, I think it's this person, which I'm not going to tell you who I think it is because again, spoilers, but I'll be like, right, I definitely have a theory on it's this, and then we'll see whether I'm right or not, which I know doesn't mean much to you because if I'm not telling you who I think it is, then I could easily change. I'm not that sort of person, so don't worry about that. I'm very honest. I've not solved a single book by Agatha Christie. I haven't done it. I don't know what it is, but she just confounds me every single time. I'm not, you know, I'll be honest. I'll be like, okay, I think it's this person, and I'll say whether I think it's the person that I think is a potential red herring, or if it's the person where I'm like, I don't know if you are, but you feel suspicious to me for some reason. So like, they're my two. One I feel is a bit more likely because I think they're a red herring currently, but I think that could change. And then one which I think probably unlikely, but there's something about them as a character that I'm just not sure on, you know? We'll see what happens. I could change my mind. I could go to, actually, the two potential new suspects that we got at the end of page 142 could potentially be them. So, you know, could it be that? I don't know. Who knows? There is a lot to go on. So yeah, so that's the evening plans. I will continue writing in my journal, but I just wanted to show off this lampshade. Oh, look at this. It's gorgeous. So I asked my mum for this for my birthday before I found out I was moving, because let's face it would match this room perfectly with all the green furniture and stuff. However, now that I'm moving, it's still going to match perfectly, because even though my furniture's not going to be green, actually saying that, my sofa, I've changed that, so that's green. Point is, this is going to look gorgeous in my bedroom, and then I want to get two matching lampshades for my living room. So I've got a living room come kitchen, and I would like two matching lampshades for them, but again, I would like them in green, but like a different style. This I really like. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited to hang this. Well, let's face it, I'm short as hell, so I'm not hanging this. I'm so excited to get my partner to hang this for me. I'm very excited for it. It is the exact color green I wanted, and I love all of this pleating. Like, oh, I'm so happy with it. And that is how you know I'm getting old. I mean, age is just a number, let's face it. But if you had told 20-year-old me that I'm gonna be excited over a lampshade, I would have been like, what the hell are you talking about? The 31-year-old me is so excited over a lampshade. I love it. But yeah, honestly, that's it. That's the update. And I'm going to, I think, have a shower first. The house is empty, so I'm gonna jump in the shower, do some food, we'll get to editing, and then we're gonna get back to solving the mystery of a move-in day. I'm so happy. We've done so much. Well, I say we. To be fair, it was mainly the movers. They brought everything up, which is great, so that's all been moved. My partner spent a bit of time putting together some of the bookshelves for me. I've just got 2 bookshelves left to put together, which is great. So I'm going to be getting on with that soon. But I wanted to take a bit of time to update A Murder is Announced because I've almost finished it and I do plan on finishing it this evening. I am now up to chapter 21, page 258, and oh my gosh, so much has happened. I'm really enjoying this one. There are so many twists and turns in this book. It's really, really interesting. I'm having a grand time with all of this. Like, it's just so good. So the person, remember how I was saying how I think one person could potentially be, but they're possibly a red herring, and then potentially this other person because they're a little bit suspicious, but there's nothing really putting them to be suspicious. Yeah, the reason why is because, well, it wasn't them. So that put a nail in that coffin. Still, I have been continuing on with notes because I still think it could potentially be the red herring. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I thought, oh, maybe it could be so-and-so, then we just learned something and it's not them. There's just so many twists and turns in this book. I'm really, really enjoying it. I was reading it till quite, I wouldn't say late last night, only till 11, but considering I'd been up since 5:30, then, you know, that was quite late for me, but I was really enjoying this. I was getting really into it. And then this morning I woke up really early because obviously day of moving and everything, and I could not sleep. I was too excited, so I got a few hours, but I didn't sleep much. So yeah, and that's what it's been like. This has been a really busy morning. I think it's almost 12. I don't know where my phone is to check the time. It's in that stage of moving where everything is everywhere. So you know it's here somewhere, you just don't know where. So yeah, it's a fun time at the minute. I really just want to get to reading this, but I need to get movement with this moving stuff. So this was a very quick update. Like, I didn't have, because I'm not doing spoilers, it's very difficult to say all what's going on. Safe to say, this is probably my favorite book with Miss Marple in it because of how involved she is, and something's just happened that we found out and I'm just like, I wonder what's going on. I'm really, really curious. I really want to know what's going on. What has Miss Marple gotten herself into? And some of the things actually I've been enjoying is like some of the pieces of this puzzle I've been able to start putting together, and I'm like, oh, I think I know how they did it. I know how they did the lights. And I love that. I love that I picked up on it just before Miss Marple laid it all out for you. And I'm really, really happy I did that, which, you know what, is kind of ridiculous, but I'm really happy I did. This is really good. I'm really, really enjoying it. So I was thinking it was like one person, but I actually think it's 2 people. One is my possible red herring, and then another person who I thought it was someone, but I don't think it is them, so it's not likely to be them. So it could be this other person, but they're so quiet that I don't think so, you know? And I just don't know. They do seem very quiet and just kind of to themselves almost, but that also makes me think, well, maybe it is them because they've been like, they're there, but they really haven't been the focus of this book. So I'm wondering, could it be them just because of the fact that they've been quietly in the background, so you've been able to kind of forget about them? Could it be that? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm really enjoying it and I'm having a lot of fun. As I said, I do need to get on and sort things out. The next thing I want to do is sort out my bedroom because there's a lot of stuff everywhere. I still have a few clothes left to unpack. Just try and tidy it up, get the final bookshelf built. I say final, there is going to be one here, but I can't build this one until this lot's gone. So get the final one for my bedroom built, hoover, organize the books, and then build the last bookshelf for in here, and we'll see. Because I want to sort out my desk. It's actually a table, but I want to sort that out, but I can't because I need the bookshelves to be built before I can do that, because there's still some books on the table and there's all my ornament pieces that I have on my bookshelves. That's all on the table because I didn't want to lose them. So yeah, a lot of this is I can't do anything until I've got the bookshelves sorted. So that is what I'm going to go and do. And then this evening, I'm definitely going to finish A Murder is Announced. And I do have They Do It With Mirrors with me because I'm thinking, depending on how I feel this evening, because I don't have many pages left of this. I think I've left myself like 60 pages. Yeah, 60 pages of this. So if I just finish that and I still want to stay up for a little bit, then I might just start this one and see how much I can get read. Because initially my plan for moving was spend today getting stuff here, getting stuff built and organised. Then spend tomorrow with my mum picking up the last of my books, 2 more plants, my cat, you know, all the last little bits, getting them here, probably have lunch with her, and then potentially spending the evening doing a few things, but I'm not sure. Maybe just like putting up all the wall decor. And then Sunday was going to be my bookshelf organisation day. However, because everything happened so much earlier, like I actually got a call from the movers yesterday going, can we come earlier? And I was like, yes, please, great. And actually they, from arriving to finishing here was less than an hour. They were so fast. They were really, really good. So that was amazing. So I got that done really well. And then because my partner put together all the bookshelves, barring one of the big ones, it was so quick for him. Like he did it really, really quickly. And I know it would have taken me so much longer to do. It just meant that today has been so much more productive and I got so much more done than what I was expecting to. That leaves me with a bit more reading time. So I could potentially finish both of these, which is great. Every week, it's hilarious. Every week this month I've said, oh, I don't think I'm going to be reading much because I'm so busy. And the first week I did only manage to read 1 physical book, but every week I've actually read more than what I said I was going to, apart from the first week. And then I've been finishing like 2 physical books a week. Clearly, I overestimate the amount of time I need for everything, but yeah, it basically just means I've got Sunday free. I will probably be able to finish both of these this week, which I'm very happy with. Really enjoying this one. I think this one has had me the most engrossed out of all of them with all the twists and turns, because I've really, really enjoyed this. It's just been so interesting. I think it was a bit of a slow start and I was like, oh, I'm gonna like this. It's just a cute cozy mystery, like it's nice. But then it's really picked up, and while it's still the cute cozy mystery because it's Agatha Christie, it's just so good. Like I'm loving the twists and turns, and I can really see why so many people have said to me this is their favourite one, because it's so good. It's just so entertaining. I'm loving it so much. Anyway, that was a really long tangent for something that was going to be a really quick update. I do know how to ramble. But yes, I am going to start my bookshelf organisation video. Oh, I'm so excited. It's such a good day. Morning. I finished A Murder is Announced yesterday, so I decided to relax and have a bath after all the moving stuff. Like I was really productive yesterday and I was feeling the aches and pains from moving everything, so decided to have a bath, and I ended up bringing my book and thinking, oh, I'll read a couple chapters and then that's it. I ended up spending an hour in the bath because I just couldn't put this book down and I had to finish it. The twists, oh my god, I did not see that coming, like at all. So I was right. So like, you know, I thought it was the red herring, which again means nothing if you haven't read this book, and I don't want to give spoilers, but I was right about one of the pieces of information that was revealed. And I was like, aha, and I literally wrote in here, I knew it. Will it focus on it? Aha. In my terrible handwriting. I was like, oh, I've done it, but I don't know how they did the crime. Like, how did they do this? Did they actually do the crime? Did they have help with somebody else? I was like, I knew that about that person, and it was like my red herring. I was thinking, but how did they do this? They don't, I don't know, things are pointing to them, but they also didn't quite match up with doing it. Like, I wasn't 100% sure, so I definitely thought they had some help. The person I thought it wasn't them, and then I was like, okay, well maybe it's so-and-so. Again, I don't know, it could be because remember I was talking about how because they hadn't been focused on, maybe because they've been so quiet in the background, that it was actually them playing a bigger part and we had been actually navigated away from them. Yeah, no, the person it was, I didn't for 1 second think it was them. Not 1 single second did I think it was going to be them. Didn't even, but like nothing, absolutely nothing, was not anywhere near my suspect list. It was brilliant. It was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed this one. I can definitely see why so many people say it's their favorite. I know I've said that a lot, but it was so good. And this is definitely one I would reread to see if I could solve it and like pick up on things a second time around. However, I did that with A Body in the Library, and I didn't solve it then either. So, you know, I read it the first time, didn't solve it, reread it, and it was a few months later, still didn't solve it. Because in my notes, like when I'm taking notes in my journal, I don't put down who's done it, so that if I was to reread the book, I only have my initial notes to go off of and not who actually did it. I don't know, she just gets me every time, and I loved it. It was brilliant. So then that evening I then decided to set up my classics bookshelf and stuff, and then by that point I was then feeling very tired because the bath was like, oh, I feel great now, I've got loads of energy. Did another shelf and I was like, yeah, okay, no, I'm gonna go to bed. So decided to start They Do It With Mirrors. It's interesting. It's a bit of a slower start. I am up to, I don't have my bookmarks are packed away somewhere. I was going to get some tabs as well because like I have my suspects and facts, so I was going to do that with this. I know I've got some blue ones lying around. I saw them yesterday, I moved them, I can't remember where I've moved them to. Like, that's the only problem with moving, is like, you know, you've got stuff. Where that stuff is a whole different question. It's around here somewhere. Thankfully I can remember where I'm up to. So I'm up to chapter 5, page 40. I'm liking it. We haven't actually had a murder happen yet. It's quite a slow start for an Agatha Christie book. I find that generally speaking the murder happens quite early on. This time it's different, although Miss Marple is directly involved with this one, which I'm liking. So Miss Marple is meeting up with a friend of hers called Ruth, and they're catching up, but then Ruth is talking about her sister and feeling very concerned about her sister, and she's like, I can't put my finger on it, but something doesn't feel right. Can you go and check up on her and just kind of find out what's going on? And Miss Marple's like, okay, why not? I'll do that, that's fine. And so she goes to this place, and it is a really old mansion. The sister in question, who is, I think it's Carrie Louise, she's married to this guy who is trying to correct criminal offenders, doing it all with psychology, doing it with how we treat them, how they associate things, and so in this big ass mansion there is a separate building where they've got these young offenders, and they're trying to, what do they call it? A correctional facility for wayward young men. This is book of its times, and that's another thing actually. There are certain sentences, certain things that are said, and the way they're said in this book, in Agatha Christie books in general, you wouldn't have in today's society, like you wouldn't have in today's book. But it is also of its time, which I know isn't necessarily an excuse or anything, but it is the prejudices of the time, so it's a reflection of that, and I'm kind of used to it because of the amount of classics and stuff I read, and so I see it as that is how society was, and now it wouldn't be acceptable, and that's a good progress. But I know not everybody would be comfortable with it. Back to this though. Miss Marple has arrived at this place, and she's just met all the different people that live there currently. So you have Carrie Louise's husband, you have her daughter through another marriage, you have her granddaughter from someone that she adopted when they first thought that she couldn't have children, so she has her granddaughter with her as well, her granddaughter's husband, and a few other bits. Like, it's a messy web at the minute, but there has been no murder yet. So we're just seeing Miss Marple arrive at this place, realizing who is actually there. So I would definitely like to read more of this today. It's only 218 pages long, and I'm already on page 40. So I'm hoping if I can get to like the 100-page mark. Honestly, I would like to give myself a nice evening of reading again, so probably read another 100 pages. So that would be really good. I have no suspects. I have nothing that's going on because, to be quite honest, we don't even know, like, the murder hasn't happened. There's lots of different characters and it's all a bit messy right now, so we'll see. But I am loving that we're getting Miss Marple from the very start, and she is directly involved with this case. I think it's just going to be Miss Marple and not necessarily any other official police, which is going to be really interesting. Obviously I could be wrong because I've only just started, but yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I can't believe this one, the twists and turns in it. I love it. And this is why I like Agatha Christie books. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I find them so cozy, they're so fun, they're so entertaining. I have a great time trying to solve them and putting pieces together. I feel so accomplished when I actually put things together. Like, how it was done, how the lights went out, I solved. Like, okay, it was, you had a whole thing that was kind of very similar to it, but I got it. My lighting's gone weird. Honestly, this place probably isn't the best to film in because of the way the window is there, but you know what, we're going with it. But yeah, so like I have so much fun and I feel so accomplished. Even though I get the person who's done it wrong, generally speaking, I end up solving a mini mystery in it, because that's the thing, there are so many little mysteries in here, because it's the mystery of how did this crime take place, who are involved, and generally speaking there's always a mystery around 2 or 3 other people in each of the books, and they aren't necessarily the people that's done the crime, but there's still a mystery about either who they are, why they're there, you know, something that has happened that you then get to work out. And so I love it, and so I have so much fun. It is like a puzzle. You get to figure out little bits. It's just that last little piece of who did it I can never work out, but it is really good. So yeah, so I do plan on reading more of this today. First of all though, I need to get going over to my mum's. We're going to be moving the last of my stuff and bringing my cat. I'm so excited. And I need to clear out some of the cardboard because there's loads of it everywhere. So going to be doing that, and then I'll get to reading this evening, I think. But yeah, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Hopefully I can finish that book across today and tomorrow, and then we'll wrap up this vlog, and it would have been a really fun Agatha Christie reading week. Like, I'm really happy with it. But I had a lovely day yesterday. I got all the last stuff from my mum's, which I'm very happy with, and I spent a bit of time organising it all. So I've literally got about 6 pictures to put up on my walls here in my bedroom, and then I'm done, and I'm so happy. My cat is also here. She's a little bit nervous, like there's been a lot of stress for the last couple of weeks, so just letting her settle down, but she's adjusting really well, which is amazing. And of course I have been reading. I've actually set up a really nice morning routine where I wake up, I make a hot drink, and I sit and read a chapter, and then I do some yoga, and then I read some more of this in the evening, and I have just read my chapter for this morning, and I really like this routine. It's so nice, and it's such a lovely way to wake up to the day. So yeah, that was lovely. I've really enjoyed that. But I am up to chapter 15, page 159. I haven't actually been tabbing this one, so the murder, like I said, it doesn't actually happen till quite late in the book. It wasn't until like page around 80-ish that the murder actually took place. So for the first chunk of the book, you're getting quite a lot of information for the different characters that are at this Victorian mansion, so Carrie's place, and her different relations, the different people that are living there, how they're feeling and stuff. And a lot of them end up opening up to Miss Marple because they see her as this kindly figure and very easy to talk to. That's a lot of the first book, is just kind of setting up these different characters and getting to know them. Then the murder happens, and now we're investigating, well, what happened, why has this person been murdered, and the different things that are going on. The police are also involved because they got called, because there is a body. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I like it, but because there wasn't any of the murder stuff happening until page 80, I feel like there wasn't much for me to annotate because I didn't know what's going to be important or not later on because of it. I am still really enjoying it. I kind of have a theory for who's done it. The way they are is just so dour that it's like, it could be them, because there is a lot of things that would make sense for them to have done it, but at the same time I'm like, is that really true? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, there's like the mystery of why the person was killed, which we think is because they uncovered something else, a further plot. Again, I'm not doing spoilers and stuff, but a further plot that is why Miss Marple was there in the first place, because she got asked to be there because, again, her friend Ruth thought there was something really wrong, and and so she came down to keep an eye on Ruth's sister Carrie and wasn't sure what was going on, and things didn't seem quite right. So we're now discovering what that could have been, but we're also like, but why? What's the motive behind doing that and then killing off the person that found out about it? So it seems really weird, but also I'm really intrigued to find out. And I don't have much of this book left. There is only 218 pages left, so I've got 60 pages exactly to read. So I'm going to be finishing up this evening. I do have a lot of plans for today though. I want to film my June TBR, which we're going to be doing in a minute. I need to do some food shopping, putting up the last of the pictures, and yeah, just relaxing really. I'm really happy with it all. So yeah, definitely planning to finish this today. Really excited. I think it's going to be a good one. I don't think this is as good as A Murder is Announced, and I think coming straight off the back of that one onto this, I have found this one to be not bad by any means, but like a little bit lackluster. Like, I'm loving the fact that Miss Marple is so involved. Like, she's involved straight from the beginning, but obviously when the police get involved, they then take over. So now you're just seeing a lot of the police interviews, them trying to understand what's going on from talking to the different characters. So now Miss Marple's taken a backseat. I think I would have preferred it if she was more involved the whole way through. Like, the first half of this book, she is involved, but once the police arrive, she's then just kind of like slowly pushed to one side while the police do their investigation. I don't know, I like it, but I did prefer A Murder is Announced. I just thought that was really good, and the twists and turns in that were amazing, where I feel like the reveal in this is not going to be quite as oh my god as I had with A Murder is Announced, which, by the way, I would buddy reading that with Kat. She has a theory and I can't believe that she's done, like, how I was so surprised by the twist in this, and ages, like really early on into the book, she was like, oh my god, what if it's this? And I'd finished the book before her, and I was like thinking to myself, how am I just that bad that I didn't see it? Because how have you solved this? How have you figured it out? Like, I don't think she's figured out all the finer details of it, but I'm just like, how I don't understand. But yeah, it's really good. So I can't wait for her to actually finish, and then for me to be able to be like, how did you do this so early on? Because again, I'm like, no, I'm not doing spoilers and stuff. I just can't help it when I'm really into a book. Like, I have to read them. I could have just been reading both of these at the same time, and that would have slowed it down, so I read it at the same pace as Kat. I also think that would have been a bit confusing to read 2 Agatha Christie books at the same time, potentially. Still, I've really enjoyed this reading week, but I do need to get filming, so I'm gonna go off and do that, and I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow morning to wrap up this video. And whether I think my suspicion is true, I just feel like it's the person I think it is, because the other people feel that they don't quite fit, but I could be wrong. I'm handing in my magnifying glass. It's official, it has to happen, because I have just finished reading They Do It With Mirrors. It's now 5 o'clock Sunday evening, and I got this so completely wrong. Like, the person that it was, I didn't even consider it being them. Like, not for 1 second did they cross my mind, which I am so annoyed about. I can't believe I never even thought of them for 1 single second. It's the same with A Murder is Announced. It was the same thing. I didn't think about them for 1 single second, the person that it was. In They Do It With Mirrors, like I say, I did have my theory of who it was, and the reason why I thought of them, like, they were very miserable, and that's not a reason for murder at all. As much as it wasn't the miserable person that some of them were suspecting because of how convenient it would be, and it would fit a lot of prejudices of the time, you know, it wasn't that person either, which was good. It wasn't the miserable person I thought it was either. I thought because of childhood resentment, things like that, it would be a bit more to do with that. I don't know. it wasn't. I got it all completely wrong. I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it. Agatha Christie trumps me every single time. I've not solved a single freaking Agatha Christie book. So yeah, I'm handing in my magnifying glass because it's just not good. But I did have a great time reading these. I really enjoyed this weekly reading vlog of just having murder mysteries in May. I'm really pleased. I'm pleased I got 2 Agatha Christie books read. As much as I did much prefer A Murder Is Announced, I thought this was so much more fun. There were so many more twists. There was a lot more going on. I did still really enjoy this one. I enjoyed the kind of like conversation tone of this one because it was just lots of little discussions about things that, you know, were a bit peculiar around these group of individuals and the different tangled webs that come with family life, and I did enjoy it. It was a lot more of a slower, cozier one, whereas I feel like this one had a little bit more pace to it, more exciting twists and turns, but both were good. I did really enjoy them. I'm gutted that I got it wrong because I was so certain the whole way through. I mean, I didn't bother annotating. We know why I didn't bother annotating, but I was so certain it was them. And while I couldn't officially give how they did it, that didn't bother me because I normally can't do that anyway. It's normally, actually saying that, I figured out how they did it in this one. Figured that out. But I hadn't figured out how they did it in this one. But also I had a theory on how they did it. It just was completely wrong. So, you know, it was fun. I feel like there really wasn't as many twists in this one. There were, how many twists do I feel like there were? There were 3 main twists in this book, and I didn't think about any of those twists. Like, I have to admit, this one really surprised me, and I don't know whether it was because I was going into this one, I wasn't annotating, so I wasn't as sleuthing, looking to solve it all. I'm not sure. I think I just kind of went in with, oh, it's this person, had that on my mind, and so kind of ignored everything else, which I feel like if I hadn't done that, I would have maybe guessed a couple of the other twists, especially because some of them, honestly, I should have expected, but I just didn't because I wasn't actively looking, if that makes sense. This does a good show of how your perception can really colour everything, because got this theory in my head and therefore stopped looking. And so as a result, I was like, oh, of course I'm going to be right. It's absolutely fine. And then missed the other twists and turns, which normally I do guess twists and turns a bit more. I don't know. Doesn't matter either way, because regardless, I still never solve who's actually done it. But it was a really fun reading time. I've really enjoyed my time doing this. I'm so pleased I finally read some Agatha Christie this year, because I do want to finish out the Miss Marple series and then move on to the other works that she's done. I really love them. I love a cozy murder mystery. It was good. It was a good time. I've enjoyed it, and I'm pleased with this. Pleased with my reading this week. It's been really fun, and honestly today I haven't done much. We did the food shopping, as you saw. I did some editing. Got some editing done. I filmed my TBR, did some food shopping, did some editing, finished my book. It was lovely. It's been a really, really nice day, really relaxed, and it's just also been productive. This was a good day. It was a good day and a good reading week. Please let me know if you've read either of these. I know quite a few of you have read A Murder Is Announced and really did enjoy it, but please let me know if you've read They Do It With Mirrors, and if you're good at solving these. I mean, Kat has proven that, well, they're good at solving them because they did solve this one. So that's been proven already. So you'll have to let me know. Are you also good at solving mysteries? Am I just the amateur running around in circles because I don't actually know what I'm doing? You'll have to let me know. See, when it's with modern books, like more modern day books, I guess those, but I also feel like I guess them because I've read these, and then it makes me, when I read a modern one, I can see the connections and I go, aha, it could be them. I don't guess them all the time, don't get me wrong. So ones like Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, that one, couldn't guess. Got that one completely wrong. Maybe you know what? I need to start keeping a tally. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start keeping track of all the mysteries I read and whether I solve them or not. I don't think that my track record is as good as I think it is. I mean, especially with Agatha Christie, we know it's pants. But anyway, right, I'm waffling on. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know if you like murder mystery books, if you've read any of Agatha Christie's. But I think for now, we're going to leave it there for this weekly reading vlog. So genuinely, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch, to interact, to share. Like, it makes such a lovely difference. Like, I truly enjoy it, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you all and being able to interact with you all. But anyway, I will stop going on. So if you have made it this far, then leave a magnifying glass emoji in the comments below. because, well, we are doing mysteries, and as much as I'm bad at them, they're fun nonetheless. So if you've made it this far or you just don't know what you want to comment, leave a little magnifying glass. And once again, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, then please consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribe and commenting. Those 3 things really help this channel out, so thank you. My social media links and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.